25 years to the day since South Africans voted in the first democratic election, expats from all over the UK came to the High Commission in central London to have their say on what happens back home.
At the end of the day, we're going to go back home, and we still got our relatives back home. So we want things to change.
We want to make a difference.
We want to make a difference in South Africa. We believe that there can be change.
So we feel we must use it. People sometimes just assume because you live here now that you've forgotten your home and your heritage. I mean, that's like home is home. My family's still there. I go home every time, and I have intentions of moving back to South Africa. So of course I want to participate in changing our country and making it better.
The 2-hour wait in the wind and rain was helped by handouts of biltong. More South Africans marked their ballot in London than any other overseas country, with over 9,000 registered here in total. But efforts by the Electoral Commission to make the process easier, including putting on extra staff from Pretoria, were felt.
The lines are going great, they're going smooth, everybody's, excited to be here. It's really, really great, really organised. The IEC's done a great job.
South Africa's new High Commissioner to the UK was also happy with the vote, her first since being appointed, and paid tribute to those who had made the journey.
It's an expensive expedition to come and vote, because very often, the trains are not cheap in London. And then if you're coming from so far with your children, I think it's quite a challenge, and I think people should be quite proud of themselves. It shows a huge commitment, I think, to the future of the country.
This time round there were 48 parties on the ballot paper, but in London just 2 stood out as having the strongest support.
The last 2 elections we've had over 80% of the votes in favour of the DA, and by far we're seeing the same sort of numbers today. People are really enthusiastic about the DA. A lot of them have said to us it's the only choice, but obviously for us it's the best choice for our country and the best party to take our country forward.
The turnout in terms of the vote actually shows that people are still willing to make the necessary changes that the country desires, and they are very, very hopeful of a very democratic, transparent and reliable government that will actually serve the interests of the people of South Africa.
Over the coming week, the ballots from London will be collected, sealed and sent back to South Africa to be counted in 10 days' time.
Well, it has been raining here and it's still very cold and windy, but despite the British weather, as expected, thousands of South Africans have turned out in Trafalgar Square to have their say. We won't know, though, who they voted for until after the general election in South Africa itself on the 8th of May. Holly Hudson, SABC News.